Good morning, dear students. We are going to start a new chapter, that is Theseus and the Minotour. Okay, so there are two parts of this chapter. The first part we are going to study in this one, and this chapter is taken from the Greek mythology. So you know, see, like you have heard about this mythology. Like there are, see, like we have Ramayana, Mahabharata, and all that. See, like we are using. These are the story books like that we are using, or religious books. So such kind of a religious book is available for the Greek people in the Greek. So there is also different areas, different countries, they use different type of mythology. So there is stories are there. So it is kind of moral stories that these things might have taken place or might not have taken place. There are no much evidences to show whether they are already real or not. And there are some incidents which are shown there. Some evidences of the things are given, some are not there. So but there are some stories or some kind of things are there that we have to understand. So they are used for making us, or it is like some moral stories, like, okay. So such kind of a story is given in this one. So okay, so in that it is taken from Greek mythology. Long ago, Athens in Greece was ruled by a king named Theseus. The name of there was a place in the Greece, Athens, and many years before, this place was ruled by a king called Theseus. He had a son by the name of Aegeus. So he had a son, and his name was Aegeus. The father's name is. These names are little different because it is used in the Greek mythology and very old. Like we are having like a Ramana, Lakshmana, like that stories, names and all we are familiar. But they are not much familiar. They are very new words are there. So these are the names of different people in the story. Okay. He had by the name of Aegeus. One day, Aegeus met a lovely maiden in a faraway countryside of the kingdom. Her name was Aethra. So there was a king, and his son was there, Aegeus. And one day he was traveling and he was roaming around, and in that place he found a girl, a maid, and her name was Aethra. Aegeus fell in love with Aethra. She too liked Aegeus, as he was brave as lion and also intelligent. So he met a girl, and they fall in love. They both started to love each other. Okay, and she liked Aegeus because as he was as brave as lion. So he was very brave. So here there is a simile used there. In the previous chapter we have studied about the similes, isn't it? So different similes we have studied. Similes are the words to say that some people are some having, in order to explain some qualities of some people, or some animals or things like that. We make comparison between the two different things with having some similarities. They may not be having the same ideas, but in some context they will have some similarities. So here he is considered as he is as brave as lion. Means how much courageous how much brave lion is, that much courageous or that much brave he was. Okay, and also intelligent. So these two qualities. So he was having a quality of braveness as well as intelligence. So these two qualities are there, and because of these two qualities, this girl liked him. Soon they were married, and a son was born to them. So after that they were married, they were in love, they met and they loved, and after that they married, and they had a son also. They named him Theseus, and the name of this son is Theseus. Aegeus could not stay long with Aethra. He was called to Athens by his father. So then after the marriage they were living together, and after that they had a son, but he could not stay with this girl for a long period. So he had to go back, and he was called by his father to Athens. Then before departing for Athens, he looked Aethra to a nearby hilltop. So before going back to his kingdom, so he was to go to Athens, and he has to maybe see like any war and all the things will be there. So at that time he had to go back. So at that time, so he has taken this girl to the top of a hill, and there he dug a pit and buried his sword and sandals. So there he made a pit and he hid his sword and sandals. So two things he has hidden there, kept there, for it is to be given to his son. Okay, so he kept it, and he made a big hole in the earth, made a pit, and he hid his sword and his sandals. There he dug a pit and buried his sword and sandals. After covering the pit with a huge boulder, he said to her, "When our son is able to move this rock, send him to me, and he will be my heir. I will recognize him by these items of mine." And when he was about to go, he said, he took his wife to the top of a hill and made a big pit and buried the sandal and his sword. And he covered it with mud, and above that he kept a very big boulder. Boulder means a very big stone. Very big stone. You can see the picture there. So there is there he making a pit and burying the sword as well as the sandals, and covering it with a very big boulder. So it is an identification first of all, and also that a normal person will not be able to move this boulder. So if a person very strong, very brave people only will be able to move. So he is able to move it and keep it, and he knows that only his son will be able to. So when he becomes strong enough or equal strong as the father. So see like the specialities of a father, or what are the greatness of a father is there. So those features will be there for the children also, isn't it? So and the shape and the qualities are there, so the people can understand. Okay, you might have seen the movie Bahubali, isn't it? So in that the movie is there, and his father is there, and his child was put into a sea, and they were carried, and he reached to another place. Okay, and he was growing up with the normal parents, but the qualities that he was having is same as of his father, isn't it? So, and he also had a great intention to go back to his place. So he was thinking that there was a big like waterfall is there, and he was trying to climb up, and many times he had fallen down, but he never quit, isn't it? So you might have seen. So the quality of his father was there. So he was very strong. His parents were very much worried when he is doing. So you might have seen that he is lifting up a very big stone-made Shivalinga and taking it and going under the waterfalls and keeping it. So he is having very strong, very so much amount of strength he is having. And when the people see these things, then they are getting astonished, isn't it? So they are getting. So these feelings are there, or these kind of qualities are there of the children. So if a father is having whatever qualities are there, that qualities will be present in the children also, or especially to the son. It is not compulsory that this will be there, but most probably this will be there. Okay. So this man, he was this ages, he was expecting that he was having a son, and his son will become equal to him, equally powerful like him. So at that time he will be able to remove this boulder and take out this sword and the sandal. So this is an identification symbol. So when he comes to the king, so when he grows up, then you can send him to my place, to my palace, and I will make him my heir. I will give him my riches, and I will accept him as my son. So then, and in order to identify this one, in order to recognize this one, this has to be used, the sword as well as the sandal. So this he had kept it for his son, so that he will be able to identify him when he is bringing back this sandal and sword. So for that purpose, he had kept it under the boulder, and he know that it will take many years, but after by the time he may not be able to identify who is his son. So somebody will come and say that, hey, I am your son, and give me your hair, or he is the he is the son of a king. So he will become the king, and the son, he has to become the next king. So if anybody comes and say that I am your son, so there is no any meaning in that. So in order to identify that who is his son, so for that purpose, this sword and the sandal was kept under the boulder. Okay. So that is enough for today. The remaining portion we will study in the next class. Okay. Thank you so much.